What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today we got our updated NBA mock draft. We're less than a month away from the NBA draft. It's going to be our mock draft 3.0, a full first round mock draft. And there is one pretty big, massive trade in here. But other than that, we don't really have much trades. We are just going to pick as the order. But one trade that I really do like that I had to fire on that I like for both teams, because this is a what I would do draft. So I know you guys are going to have your opinions, different opinions than mine, and that is okay. Let me know down below in the comment section what you would change about my picks. Without further ado, subscribe if you guys are new. A ton of college basketball content here on the channel with some NBA mock drafts and stuff like that as well. Huge college basketball fan. All these guys I watched throughout college, and I love a ton of them, so I'm very excited to do another one of these mock drafts. Without further ado, let's get started with pick number one. It is the Dallas Mavericks, and it is an easy pick. It is going to be Cooper Flagg from Duke. Cooper Flagg is just an absolute beast. He's still only 18 years old. He's going to be 18 entering his rookie season when the NBA starts up next season, and is just a perfect fit. I mean, for the Mavs to be able to get this number one pick, pair him alongside Kyrie Irving and Anthony Davis, and just plug him right in there at the small forward position. He could play the 3 or the 4. He's just a great all-around player. Rebounder, defender, scorer at all 3 levels, athletic. He can play make as well. He really started to show that towards the end of last season, really the second half of last season. He was a really good playmaker for that Duke team, and the style of basketball that he's coming from, that they played there under Coach John Shire, was just perfect to set him up for the NBA, and also played for Team USA one summer in the Olympics. So he's got a lot of experience playing against NBA players already. Clear-cut number one prospect, one of the best prospects we've seen, at least in the last few years. Number 2, this is where I'm going to have my massive trade that I was telling you guys in the intro, and that is the San Antonio Spurs, who have this number 2 pick, are going to be trading it in a package to the Phoenix Suns to get Kevin Durant. Now, it is rumored out there that Kevin Durant is going to be traded this offseason. I definitely think he is going to be, from the Phoenix Suns, and one of his top destinations they did list was the San Antonio Spurs. And I think it makes a ton of sense for the Suns to try to trade him to the Spurs and get that number 2 pick when they do. So the trade package is going to be Kevin Durant to the Spurs, and the Suns receive the number 2 pick, the number 14 pick of this draft, Jeremy Sochan and Devin Vassell. That is kind of the, package that I'm thinking. It could be more, it could be a little less, not sure, but you get the gist of it. I think this makes sense for both teams. Obviously, the Spurs, they got Wemby, they got De'Aaron Fox, they got the Rookie of the Year Stephon Castle last year. They have a nice squad, a veteran in Chris Paul. To go out and get Kevin Durant launches them up definitely into contention to compete in the Western Conference. So I think you take a shot at it. I think it would be a great fit there for the Spurs. And as for the Suns, they have to do something. Because of Bradley Beal's no trade clause, he doesn't want to go anywhere. They're stuck with his contract. They're going to have to ride that one out. They're going to have to try to trade Kevin Durant. They also have no picks almost at all. So they got to try to get a good package from the Spurs or from somebody to build around Devin Booker and build a new team around him. And they're going to have to try to wait out Bradley Beal's contract as well, unless hopefully he will decide he does want to end up going somewhere else. But I don't see that happening. But this is huge, and the main reason the Suns are going to do this is because they are going to draft Dylan Harper with the number 2 pick. In most other draft classes, he would be the number 1 pick, but not this one just because of Cooper Flagg. So he is going to go to the Suns. That way you can move Devin Booker back to the position that he is supposed to be playing at, which is the 2 guard, the shooting guard, and you can play Dylan Harper at the 1, and you have your backcourt to build around whenever Bradley Beal's contract runs out. And hopefully you can land another good pick at number 14 that will be a cornerstone for the Suns that you also get with this package. Number 3, we have the Philadelphia 76ers. Now, I've seen people go a few different ways with this pick, but in my opinion, this is a what I would do draft. I would take Ace Bailey if I were the 76ers. Not necessarily because I do think he is the best overall player available at number 3. I actually don't think he is, but because I do think it is the best fit for the 76ers. I don't think Paul George is going to be a Philadelphia 76er for much longer, and really, with how he played last year, will he have a bounce back year? It's possible, but I think Ace Bailey is the guy you have to go with. Him and Tyrese Maxey and Jared McCain have to be your franchise players moving forward. What are you going to do with Embiid? You could keep him for a couple more years, maybe try to win something with him, but honestly, I think Ace Bailey is your best get there at the small forward position. Right now, he's only a pure scorer. He has to work on his playmaking. He has to work on his rebounding, but he is a very good defender. That's the main thing that he needs to work on, though, is just being a better playmaker, being a better facilitator, and just doing all he can. But he is a absolute pure scorer, and he has a ton of potential. I think 76ers got to take him here at number 3. Number 4, we do have the Charlotte Hornets. I think that this is another excellent fit here for the Hornets. With the 4th pick, they take Knippel, and this is what I would do if I were the Hornets. I think he fits in there excellently. For the Hornets, now a lot of people could argue VJ Edgecombe or maybe Trey Johnson, and I actually think that Trey Johnson out of the 3 is my favorite out of the 3. But it's definitely up for debate. But Knippel is such a good shooter and a guy that is going to be able to play off the ball from a LaMelo Ball and a Brandon Miller. So I do think that Knippel is an excellent fit here for the Hornets to be able to plug into that 2-guard position, and hopefully him and LaMelo can just be stars together right there at the backcourt, and Knippel could really turn into one of the best shooters in the league if he does hit his max potential. At number 5, we do have the Utah Jazz, and this is where I'm going to have Trey Johnson. This is a what I would do mock draft, and even though Trey Johnson is my personal number 3 player on my big board, I would have the 76ers and Hornets pass on him for the better fits and have the Jazz take best player available here in Trey Johnson. I really do think Trey Johnson could end up being just a franchise player of this Utah Jazz team and really start turning their franchise around. He has a ton of potential as a scorer, as a playmaker. He's athletic. He's a great shooter. He can really do it all. One of the best scorers in this draft class for sure. He's going to go here, number 5, to Utah. Next up, the Washington Wizards. We have them taking, at number 6, VJ Edgecombe, the shooting guard out of Baylor. Now, this guy has a ton of potential. Now, I am a little bit skeptical of his game. I do think that there is some bust potential in VJ Edgecombe, and that is why he has slid for me in a what I would do mock draft further than guys like Knippel and Trey Johnson, because I do believe they have higher floors. As to VJ Edgecombe, I do think there is some bust potential there, but he is the most athletic player in this draft class. Yes, even ahead of Cooper Flagg and Dylan Harper, who are very athletic players. He has insane athleticism, and he showed that he can shoot the 3-ball consistently as well. So he could be that 3-and-D type of player with some athleticism. He can be a super good player in this league, and there is some upside there for him to be a superstar, actually, in the NBA as well. But I do think he's going to end up being like maybe a average starter to a good role player in the NBA whenever he does get a few years into the league. But there is some potential there. There's also some bust potential at number 6 for the Wizards. I did decide to go with VJ Edgecombe here. In recent mock drafts, I did go with Derek Queen or even Common Malawach to pair with Alex Sarr to have your front court of the future. But I think VJ Edgecombe, you're probably going to have a good shot at getting either Knippel, Trey Johnson, or VJ Edgecombe. So if you want to take a shot at one of those guards, especially if you don't think Jordan Poole is going to be a Washington Wizard for long, I think that you do have to take a shot at one of those players. Next up, at number 7, we do have the New Orleans Pelicans, and I got them drafting their point guard of the future. Jeremiah is a super good point guard. He is shifty. He's exciting. He is what the Pelicans need, and hopefully, if they are able to keep Zion and let him play back-to-backs and let him play, you can have a very exciting team in New Orleans. I do think the Pelicans are really missing a true point guard to lead this team, and hopefully they can develop him into a very good playmaker. He's shown some playmaking abilities for sure at Oklahoma, but he definitely needs to work on a little bit more if he is going to be a starting point guard. But I do think the Pelicans need a starting point guard very, very desperately. So I think Jeremiah Smith is a perfect fit here for the Pelicans grab at number 7. Now, number 8, we do have the Brooklyn Nets. Now, the Nets have many picks in this draft, so I do think that most of this draft they should go best player available. You are going to be able to get other positions of need when you really need a ton of positions of needs if you are the Brooklyn Nets. So I think you go best player available, which in my opinion is Derek Queen. He is the top available player on my board, and that is who I'm going to select in a what I would do mock draft for the Brooklyn Nets. I do think it is going to be a very good player in the league. He has shown upside as a 5-man to be able to stretch the floor and hit some threes. He had a few 20-point, 20-rebound games at Maryland this past season. Derek Queen is an excellent player. I think that he goes here at number 8 in this mock draft. Now, number 9. The Raptors, they get one of the top 2 centers because a lot of guards went early in this draft and wings. One of the top 2 centers falls to them at number 9. So the Toronto Raptors definitely draft Common Modowatch out of Duke. He has a ton of potential. He actually has some upside of shooting the 3-ball as well. He has a ton of upside as a shot blocker, as a rebounder, of course, as a 7'2" center. He has a ton of size down there, man. He's going to be a great defender when he develops all the way, and rebounder, and hopefully he can stretch the floor as well. He can be a key piece to this Raptors team and their future if he develops the right way. He has high ceiling, man. Common Modowatch out of Duke. Number 10, we do have the Houston Rockets, and they could go a few different directions here. I actually had them drafting Thomas Sorber, and I know that they do have Alfred Sengun, who is definitely a awesome center, their starting center of the future. But, they got Steven Adams down coming off the bench, who actually had some very valuable minutes in the playoffs. But Thomas Sorber can be your backup center of the future, or he can even play the 4 with a lot of size there at that 4 position and good rebounding, because he can stretch the floor and hit the 3-ball, and I think he can actually project as a very good 4-man in the NBA as well. So I think that is a good pick for the Rockets. You can either play him as a backup 5 or as even a starting 4 or a backup 4. There's a ton of spots you can use him at, and he has a lot of potential. He's young, freshman at Georgetown, hitting threes. Doesn't have the best 3-point percentage, but he threw him up there, and he had a few games where he hit 3 or 4 of them. So I really like Thomas Sorber out of Georgetown. I think he is deserving of a lottery pick, especially for a contending team like the Houston Rockets. Could definitely use a guy like that. Next up at number 11, we got the Portland Trail Blazers, and I got them taking Colin Murray-Boyles out of South Carolina. This is a guy who's very shifty, definitely needs to work on his 3-point shot as well, but he's going to be a 4-man most likely in the NBA. Very versatile, though, versatile defender. This is going to be a good pick here for the Blazers. The Blazers are a team that have a lot of guards, and they probably do need to trade a few of their guards and try to get some picks for him. It's probably going to end up being in Fernie Simons, who had a very good season last year. But I think the Blazers get a really good piece here. A much-needed wing and a much-needed power forward here. Colin Murray-Boyles definitely has some potential there as well. Next up at number 12, we do have the Chicago Bulls, and I got them taking Carter Bryant out of Arizona. Now, Carter Bryant is a very good player, and really one that rose up on a lot of people's boards, including my own, and just a good player with a ton of potential here. I do think the Bulls, similar to the Blazers, they need a wing. They have a lot of guards on this team. Are they going to end up trading any of those guards? Because they got Lonzo coming back. They got Josh Giddey now. They got Kobe White, of course. Ton of guards on this team that are going to want to start. So I do think they need to balance it out here, get some wings, get some bigs. But Carter Bryant would be an excellent pick here at this point in the draft for the Chicago Bulls. At number 13, we do have the Atlanta Hawks. And I actually got our first overseas prospect in Joan Behringer. He is a 7-foot center with a ton of potential, and I do think that that is probably the Hawks' biggest needs. And with the players available on this board right now, I've seen a couple of guards that you would have to reach for that would maybe pair nicely with Trae Young. But I do think that Joan Behringer here isn't too much of a reach. He is my top center available on the board, so I do think the Hawks go ahead and grab him here while you're able to at number 13. I do think that they are really missing that center of the future. Hopefully, Behringer can be that for them out of France. We've seen a lot of France prospects do very good in the league lately, most notably Victor Wembanyama, but that would be a great pick there for the Hawks. Next up, number 14, we got the Phoenix Suns again acquiring this pick in the Kevin Durant trade to the Spurs. And the Suns, with this pick, draft Nick Clifford out of Colorado State. Now, he is a very NBA-ready player. He is going to be able to play one of the wings, the 2 or the 3, be able to give you good minutes off the bench most likely, and hit some threes, be a scorer really, and also a good defender as well. So I do think that he projects as a really good 3-and-D player. I think at this point in the draft, the Suns need, some bench depth. They need guys who can come off the bench and give them valuable minutes because they have so much cap space into Bradley Beal. They're going to need to draft well, and I think a guy who has a high floor in Nick Clifford, go ahead and get him here at number 14, especially you already got Dylan Harper. That would be an excellent draft there if you can get those 2 guys. Next up at number 15, we got OKC. Currently, as I am recording this, in Game 5 of the NBA Finals, it is tied 2-2, so we'll see if they're able to finish it out. But OKC still has the number 15 pick, even though they're in the finals, and I have them drafting, in my opinion, the best player available, and also one of their bigger needs. Probably, if you want to say OKC has many needs, and that is Asa Newell, one of my top players on the board. He is a power forward. He is a guy who can project to shoot the ball very well, and I do think could come in, rebound very well. Rebound is definitely something that OKC needs their bigs to do better as points, and also shooting the ball. I think Asa Newell can develop to a very good, valuable piece here for Oklahoma City off the bench. Even in his rookie year, could get some valuable bench minutes for OKC, in my opinion. Next up at number 16, we got the Orlando Magic, and I got them selecting. They actually just traded for Desmond Bane, which I think was actually a really good trade. A lot of people say they got fleeced because they gave away so many first-round picks, but I don't think it was such a bad trade for them. They need shooting. They need a shooting guard. I think it was a good get for him. Desmond Bane's gonna help the Magic a ton, and this guy's going to help them a ton too because they're getting more shooting. And Liam McNeely out of UConn. Liam McNeely is a very good player. He can really play the 2 or the 3. He can be a backup 3 for Franz Wagner if you wanted to. Or even play the 2, be a backup to Desmond Bane now. I think he's going to give you some valuable bench minutes in his rookie year. To get that at pick number 16, pretty good. He can also be a future starter, eventually develop into that. Liam McNeely, excellent pick here at number 16 for the Magic. Number 17, we got the Minnesota Timberwolves, and this is one of my favorite picks in the draft because I think he should probably go much earlier. I couldn't pull the trigger, find the right spot for him, but this is the right spot. Minnesota Timberwolves, we have college basketball champion Walter Clayton Jr. from Florida going here. I love the fit here. I think the Timberwolves could use a young point guard like this who has some experience in college, a 4-year college player, played out at Iona, played at Florida, won a national championship, is an excellent shooter, one of the better shooters in this class. And with Mike Conley, getting up there in age, you got Nickeil Walker-Alexander, of course, but I do think that Walter Clayton can provide a spark for this team, especially shooting-wise, being that point guard, being that leader. I think it would be a A+ pick for the Timberwolves to get Walter Clayton Jr. here at pick number 17 because I honestly think he should go much earlier, especially into what I would do mock draft. If I were a few other teams, I would probably take him earlier because I think he has more potential than people might think. Teams try to stay away from those 4-year players, but I think Walter Clayton Jr. is different, and I think he's going to be a great player in the NBA. Next up at number 18, we got the Washington Wizards again. Earlier in the draft, they did take VJ Edgecombe. This time, they are going to take a power forward to pair next to Alex Sarr, and that is going to be Noah Essengu from France, another overseas player, another French player. I think Essengu is going to be a very good player. I really think him and Colin Murray-Boyles, who I had going at number 11, have similar games. I would take Colin Murray-Boyles ahead of him, as you can tell I did. But I do think that Essengu, especially here at number 18 outside the lottery, very good value here for the Wizards, especially to fill a spot of need because you just traded Kyle Kuzma to the Bucks. I do think that he can plug into that spot and be that power forward you need to pair with Alex Sarr, and they'll have that overseas connection hopefully as well. So Wizards draft him here at number 18. At number 19, another team that has their second pick in the draft. The Nets earlier went with Derek Queen. The Nets are going to go with Jace Richardson here at number 19, the son of Jason Richardson, and a very good prospect from Michigan State who was a freshman. He wasn't starting early on in the season, and then all of a sudden he got a ton of bench minutes and took his minutes, and Tom Izzo never looked back. He ended up being a starter not shortly after, ended up being one of their top scorers. Most nights the top scorer on Michigan State, and just so much potential there, especially as a scorer, as a two-guard. Jace Richardson going to the Nets, very good pick here. If they get him and Derek Queen, I think they got some future studs there on the Brooklyn Nets. Much, much needed. At number 20, we do have the Miami Heat, and I do have them taking a point guard, Kasparas Jakušionis, out of Illinois. I think this is an interesting pick here for the Heat. At pick number 20, you're not really looking for, your next superstar of your team. But Jakušionis actually is a player that if you do get him at this point in the draft, I'm not personally super high on him. I think he does have, a high turnover rate. But he does have potential as a playmaker to be, a Luka Doncic type of player. Is he going to be Luka Doncic? No. But he has the ability to be that type of player and hopefully be a very good three-point shooter as well. He was pretty decent at Illinois as well. But if I trust anyone in the NBA to develop talent, it is the Miami Heat. They are up there as one of the best, and who knows, he could develop into something very nice with the Heat. So I love the pick there at number 20. At number 21, we got the Utah Jazz. I got them selecting Danny Wolf. Earlier in the draft, they took Trey Johnson, and now you get a power forward here in Danny Wolf, guy who is almost 7 foot tall, who's going to play power forward, can shoot the ball, can dribble the ball, and is a very good passer as well. The one thing you're going to have to work with Danny Wolf on is his defense. Not the best defender, but hopefully they can work with him on that there at the Jazz. He goes here number 21. Don't hate it here at 21. Definitely wouldn't select him in the lottery, though. Number 22, we do have the Atlanta Hawks. I took Joan Berginger. This time, they will be taking Will Riley out of Illinois. Second Illinois player to go here in the first round. And Will Riley was a freshman, super good player. Was a hot start to the season. Was a very good shooter. I think he has a ton of potential as a good shooter in the NBA. Would be an excellent pick here at number 22 for the Hawks. At number 23, we have our other team that is in the NBA Finals right now, and that is the Indiana Pacers. And I have them selecting Johni Broome, and Johni Broome is another 4-year player, played at Morehead State, played at Auburn, was one of the better players in college basketball last season, and I don't think people realize, but he is one of the better shot blockers in this draft class. He is a very good shot blocker. He can actually shoot the 3-ball. He's done it plenty of times, and he's had some clutch threes throughout this season as well. I think Johni Broome is going to surprise some people. I'm not saying he is going to be a superstar in the NBA, but I do think that he can give a team some very valuable minutes. And a team like Indiana, who I think definitely could use another big man on their team, I love the fit here for Johni Broome. I'd love him to go to the Pacers and be competing right away in his NBA career and hopefully give them some valuable minutes off the bench. Next up, at number 24, we have OKC once again. Earlier I had them taking Asa Newell. What a steal that was at 15. Now they will be getting another steal in Igor Demon out of BYU. That would be an insane pick for OKC, a guy who's going to be a very good defender right off the bat, be a great playmaker, a guy who can drive to the rack, and was really coming into his own as a three-point shooter towards the end of the season, and he's going to be much better when he gets to the NBA as far as three-point shooter. I think Igor Demon definitely slid way too far for me, but I just liked certain players for these certain teams and what I would do mock draft. I love a ton of these players. I know they're not all going to work out, but Igor Demon has a ton of potential. To get him at 24 for a team that's in the finals right now, that is a very good steal. At number 25, we do have the Orlando Magic once again. Earlier I took Liam McNeely for them. They need some shooting. They also need some size. They need some rebounding. They need some bigs. So I got them taking Ryan Cockburner, a very good shot blocker, a good rebounder. I think a super underrated player here. I'm excited to see how he can translate to the NBA because he honestly could be like a Walker Kessler type of player. Who actually has had some success, who was a very good shot blocker at Auburn. I think Ryan Cockburner, even though he's a 4-year player, has a ton of potential, especially as a defender. He can really be a beast on defense in the league. Next up, at 26 and 27, we got the Nets back-to-back. Earlier they took Kasparas Jakušionis and also Derek Queen with their 8th pick. Now at 26, I'm going to have them take Rasheer Fleming, and a lot of these are some of my best players available for the Brooklyn Nets. Since they have 4 picks, I think that is the best way that they should go. They should make their draft board, and they should go with best player available and get the best players they can on that Nets team. They need them. Rasheer Fleming, excellent player from St. Joseph's, would be a great player here. Also, at 27, you got Cam Jones. I love Cam Jones' game. I loved watching him at Marquette the last so many years. He's so good, and this year he finally got the ability to play the point guard position since Tyler Kolek left the year prior. Cam Jones really came to his own as a playmaker. He, you want to know this just looking at stats, but he is one of the best three-point shooters in this draft class. He is super good. I think the Nets definitely take a shot on Cam Jones. He has a ton of potential, and there's been some great guards to come out of Marquette. Jimmy Butler, Dwayne Wade. Look out, Cam Jones. I think he could be a steal in the late first round. Next up at 28, we do have the Boston Celtics. I got them taking Eric Dixon, another Big East player back-to-back out of Villanova. They have him listed as a center. I definitely don't think Eric Dixon is a center. He is a great scorer. I think he is a 4. He could probably even play the 3, but he's probably going to be a 4. But he's a great rebounder. I definitely don't think he's a 5-man. He's a good shooter. Ton of potential. He's one of the leading scorers in college basketball this past year. Eric Dixon, Celtics take a shot on him. I think he could be valuable for them right away. Next up, we got the Phoenix Suns again with their 3rd pick. I got them taking, I think they need some size. They went Nick Clifford and Dylan Harper with their first few picks. I think they need some size. I took them to get Hansen Yang, a prospect out of China who is 7'2". Don't know too much about him, but honestly, what I would do mock draft with the other centers available, even Ryan Cockburner, Janai Broom, guys like that already off the board, take a shot at this guy, Hansen Yang. Take a shot at him, man. At pick number 29, they need some size. They need some rebounding. Upgrade at center, hopefully. Why not? Suns take him at 29. Number 30, we do have the Los Angeles Clippers, and I do got them taking Drake Powell out of North Carolina. Just a guy with some potential there as a very valuable piece there for the Los Angeles Clippers. Can't go wrong with that. Pick number 30, get you some potential there. But that's going to do it for this NBA Mock Draft 3.0. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. This is all based on my opinion. You know what they say about opinions. Everybody's got them. So let me know yours down below in the comment section. What did you like about my mock draft? What did you hate? Tell me why I'm stupid for taking this player here and that player there. And yeah, guys, subscribe for more basketball content here on the channel. And yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching.